Well, I thought it was a phenomenal speech. Every time I see her, I see, MJ and them, and you're talking about Kobe. I miss my brother. He was incredible talent, and he was just a brilliant brother. To speak languages as fluently as he spoke them, his business acumen, his intellect, it was just off the charts. And he was an incredible role model in that regard, because to see this black man, carry himself the way that he did with the level of intellect and poise that he exhibited, I just can't say enough about how brilliant he was, because he was nothing short of brilliant. And I really appreciated her speech, and my heart goes out to her and the beautiful children that were left behind with his passing, and that of his beautiful daughter, Gianna. The only thing that I feel compelled to add, and I have to do this, and I'm not blaming, I have no clue, Vanessa or the Lakers, I never asked, and I won't, because it's none of my business. But I will say this: Kobe had a mother. Kobe had a father. Kobe had a sibling. I didn't see them, and I've never heard anybody utter a word about them.
She did mention them. I watched the full speech, and she
did
did mention them at the top. I did not see them during the broadcast.
I did not.
But she did mention them.
I watched. Well, I went to the bathroom. I didn't hear that part.
Yep.
But thank God she did, because I'm not even talking about her. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking about the public at large. Mm-hmm. We talk so much about her loss, and we should. But he had parents.
Yeah, she thanked them for creating Kobe and for raising Kobe,
but again,
and making him the man.
I'm not going with her.
Yep.
I got that. I'm just talking about all of us. Mm-hmm. We always bring her, a mother, a father, a sister. They don't have their child and their brother anymore. And we don't bring that up enough, and I wish we did.
Max?
First of all, as everyone's been saying, but you could plainly see it and hear it there, what a beautiful speech, beautifully articulated and delivered by Vanessa. That was great. And one part in particular that not just caught my attention, I think a lot of people noticed, is that when she said, I asked him once because he was hurting, why are you playing? He said, there's some kid, up in the nosebleeds, maybe seeing me for the first time or the only time. And I owe him my best, basically. And that is something that almost 3/4 of a century ago, Joe DiMaggio said. Joe DiMaggio said, there's always a kid in the stands, and it's the first or the last time he's ever going to see me play, and I owe him my best. The reason I bring that up is because 3/4 of a century later, whether or not anyone's seen him played or even know what sport he played, right? The name Joe DiMaggio still rings bells. And that will be the same for Kobe Bryant. There is a difference between, Vanessa called him an all-time great. There are all-stars, there are superstars, there are all-time greats, and there are legends. And in the history of American sports, how many legends have there been? Kobe Bryant is one of them. That's what I was thinking watching Vanessa's speech.
One other thing I was thinking about too, guys, when I think about Kobe Bryant and that Mamba mentality, what a legacy it is that when I look at somebody like him and you think about Kobe Bryant, you think, I want to be better tomorrow. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to work harder. I want to come up higher. I want to correct my weaknesses. And that's really what Kobe embodied. And when we think about Kobe and we think about that Mamba mentality, like if I saw Kobe on the screen or Kobe's speech, I'm like, oh, I can go run another mile. And that truly is his legacy, in my opinion. And I love seeing the dynamic, how she was saying how she held him accountable, where it's kind of that tough love, where it's a lot of times, you might see this, you get a lot of fans around you, so it's really your inner circle that keeps you grounded, and you could see her role also in his success.
My boy Jeff, you met Jeff.
Yeah.
I brought him up many times, and my godson, his name is Nicholas Brown, doing a great job. Just graduated from the University of Arizona. Congratulations to him. Had like a 3.8 GPA. Mm-hmm. Met Kobe Bryant a few years ago. Kobe looked at him and said, how come it ain't 4-0?
That's what I mean. Exactly. Those kind of stories.
How come it's not 4-0? He said, you ain't got no job yet. Yeah. You're a kid. You ain't got a family. He said, what's your distraction? How come it ain't 4-0?
He makes you want to be better.
Thank Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.